all, I thank God that we have the judiciary in this country. And the judiciary is so key to the survival of our democracy, such that even when soldiers use guns to enter the seat of government or the executive house, even soldiers who came with guns always leave the judges alone in court, as in allow the courts to run. They ask Parliament to go home and the executive also to go home. I'm talking about the civilian executive. Look, there are three arms of government. Why is it that when those who take guns come, they sweep two and leave one? Because that's the hinge. And so we should be careful not to allow our partisan political interest to cloud our vision or eyes, and be quick at sweeping them with the same brush all the time. I don't get surprised when decisions are unanimous from the courts. When you take a matter that is frivolous to the courts, who is going to give you 4-1 or 3-2? Look, when a matter is frivolous, which judge? Members of the NDC themselves came and told us that when the NDC went to court on the election in 2020, they didn't even have figures to give to the court. But because there's a provision that you can challenge results, they appear before the Supreme Court. A judge asks, can we have your figures? We don't. We only came here because in announcing, we think there was a mistake. So, if you take frivolous, and some of the cases they take to the Supreme Court, with all due respect, first-year students studying not law, but any other course, can look at the case and say that this case should be thrown away. Why do you send frivolous cases to the courts, and when the obvious results comes, 5-0, then you attack them? When this issue of, how do we call it, Speaker Bagbin, good morning to him. He always watches your show. You know, he's a father to me, so all respect to him and greetings to him. When we started, this case started boiling. And I heard people say that, oh, it is not a matter of interpretation. It is just enforcing application. I started laughing. I said, look, see what politics can do to people. A matter as serious as pronouncing that someone who is MP for his own constituency should no more step in Parliament. It's a simple matter of just application. Let's even grant that all the grounds are there. Do you think it is that easy to tell an MP that go home, don't step in Parliament again, when his people queued and voted for him? But luckily, we had, how do you call it, opposing opinions. People who said, okay, Speaker, you want to say that by they going independent, they forfeited their seats. And someone else says that, no, the Constitution says that that's not what the Constitution means. They go independent will affect them in the next Parliament. You have a Constitution that says that on matters of opposing opinions or interpretation on a matter, take it to the Supreme Court. People say, don't go there because of politics. Don't go to the court. Have you thought of how dangerous this is? Imagine in the next Parliament, you have, and by the way, with all due respect to Bagby, Speaker was in Parliament as an NDC MP. Let's be candid in this country. Speaker, those who fought, who held people, chased people, physically chased people in Parliament to make sure Speaker comes. Who are they? Are they not members of this minority caucus? Why do we do this to ourselves? The point I want to make is that in all this, the one even giving the application is not like Randy Abbey. It's not Judge Kolendi. It's not someone who has practiced his profession and is not partisan. The speaker we have who is doing the so-called application or interpretation is an NDC member in this country, Wale. And then people say, allow him. And I'm happy.
Are you saying that is political party membership?
No, the point, the point I'm making is that even if people are saying that take it to a third party. It's because there are intrinsic, inherent, organic biases. And I'm not saying because of that you can't take a Julio. I'm only trying to articulate my point, Doc, that Speaker Badly has an organic, intrinsic, inherent bias because of where he's coming from. It's possible it will not affect all his decisions, but sometimes it's possible. So if you have a fear, you are in Ghana's parliament, and you think a decision is being done wrongly, where do you run to? They run to the court. And people say in this country that even the court, you shouldn't have gone there. Where do you go? Do you realize that if Afenyo had not let the minority dog out of parliament, imagine you have a seat that you sit on. And we are taking this thing for granted. You can imagine the chaos and the pandemonium where I sit here, the next day I come, another person has come to sit in my chair and says that speaker has ruled. And imagine when we all say we'll sit there, what happens? Bloodshed. When Ghanaians have voted for us, when I say us, I'm talking about politicians, and they won't solve problem, and you also have the courts. You will not use the courts. So, Doc, I want to beg Sami Jemfi. We should tone down. The tension should go down. There's unnecessary tension in this country, Doc. And by the way, I want to just say that I've read the how do you call it?
Secular.
The secular. And Doc, I have a lot of respect for you. The way I understand it, let me put it out.
Now why are you premising it with the respect you have for me? Oh, meaning what?
See, Doc, you see, we have a secular that says that if you want to serve, number one, Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, all court processes should be served on the legal department of the parliamentary service on Mondays, during working hours, Doc. To be very honest with you, most people in this public, I'm talking about the public, including myself, didn't know that beyond the Monday, there were others. That's the first point. And even those who are still accusing her that why did you use Monday have quietly shied away from these two options. So I'm happy that this showed that there are other options. The second one is the clerk to parliament. Okay? All processes should be served on the clerk to parliament. Mondays, other weekdays. Look, this is my understanding. I have been in parliament before. The chief administrator of Ghana's parliament, is the chief director of the ministry, is the clerk. If you have another provision that says that you can serve the clerk from Monday and other weekdays, Doc, if you give anything to Ghana's parliament, the clerk of Ghana's parliament, is it about his person? He is the one through which you can reach anyone that has anything to do with parliament. You can choose to use that route. Anyone. Oh, please, you see this, you don't have patience to listen to differing opinions. That's the problem you have. Relax, calm down. You can later speak your mind. I'm speaking my mind, Doc. So I want us to understand that when the Speaker, Chief Justice, people are trying to take word by word, but the import of a submission is that this parliament, it is not only Mondays that you can go there, other weekdays to the provision allows. And that one, it is the clerk. Doc, I have been in parliament before. Anything the clerk receives, he then pushes it to the relevant department or works with the relevant department. If you have a matter from the Supreme Court and you are the clerk, who do you work with? Which department?
But Okoe.
Oh, I'm going 1 minute, I'm done.
Okay.
The point I want to make is that the Speaker, the Chief Justice, in telling you that you can reach out to the legal department any other day, the clerk of Ghana's parliament, when he receives any documents from the courts, he represents the whole parliament, including the Speaker. He's a chief administrator. So anything said from Ghana's court on any other day to the clerk is not about the person of the clerk. It's not about the person. And if it's a legal matter, a case as such from Ghana's Supreme Court, where is the clerk going to refer to the matter, or with which unit in parliament would he work with? For example, if you write to the clerk of parliament that Parliament bought 20 cars and my uncle, so I'll use this for example, from Swani Motors, Tommy Swanika, and you write to Parliament that you are owed, Doc. There is legitimate debt to Ghana's clerk. The clerk will look, the first thing the clerk will do, of course, is going to involve Mr. Speaker, but it's going to work with the finance department or any other purchase department to see the status of that claim. So we should get it easy. People should not go and hide in West. What the woman is saying is that this Ghana's parliament, it is not only Monday that you can go there with a legal document. And please, that's the substance.
You are saying something.
Yes.
You are saying something which, first of all, is not the case that the Speaker makes. And it's also not the response that the CJ makes. The Speaker has gone to court to tell the court that you have improperly served me. And that on the basis of our interaction, you came up with a circular, a practice directive on how I should be served.
I agree. I've seen it.
You said on how I, Speaker, should be served.
I get it.
You have said it, how I should be served. And that how this service was effected is contrary to what your circular says on how I should be served. This particular service was directed at the Speaker, not Parliament.
I get you.
And the circular is clear. And in fact, the CJ, in debunking the Speaker's position on the matter, refers to the column 1, which deals with how the Speaker of Parliament ought to be served. And what Sami brought here was that
I listened to him.
Was that secular?
No. I mean,
hold on, was that secular? And Sami's point is that what the CJ says, what the CJ told us, in relation to what column 1 of the secular says, is contrary to what is in the secular. And that the Speaker's position on the service is vindicated by this secular. That if the Speaker says that your secular, which determines how I, as Speaker, should be served, says that one, all court processes,
I've read it. You let me
hold on. All court processes directed at me, Speaker, should be served on the legal department of the parliamentary service.
Is that clerk of parliament?
I'm coming. The judiciary and the CJ knew about clerk of parliament. Yet they said that when the service is about the right honourable Speaker of Parliament, it must be served on the legal department of parliamentary service. Then he went on to say that acceptable times of service, Mondays during working hours.
I've seen it.
So if there is a service on the Speaker, and the Speaker says that this is how you have said I should be served, that is not how I was served. And the CJ says that no. If you look at your own thing, for a service, a personal service on you, it's Mondays. But on other days, we can serve
the legal
department.
Which is not there.
But the circular does not say that.
Okay, all right.
So that doesn't even mention clerk of parliament. Why are you introducing
it's because
clerk of parliament?
You have not seen the phrase, please, with all due respect, legal department at the second place. But with all due respect to you, when you serve something on the clerk, is it supposed to be about its person?
This is the, you see, I don't want
No,
to use
please,
word.
you
clearly don't know.
with all due respect.
I beg you.
But who said you have come? It's my time. Please, you have to talk to him. Please, it's my time.
Annie, please put the second page
on
the circular.
Yes, no. The point I'm making is that Speaker is hiding, how do you call it? People are sticking to form rather than substance. What the woman is saying is that you can send legal documents to this Ghana's parliament on other weekdays. And I have been in parliament before. Parliamentary workings, anyone who has been in parliament, anything that comes to them.
Please, leave it there, freeze it.
No, they should see 1 and 2. Why should they freeze it? They should see both.
Yes. Okoe Boye, if you take your time, you understand why I said freeze it. Please calm down a bit. Calm down a bit. Just roll it down. I want the sentence before the table. In view of the foregoing, the Honourable Lady Chief Justice has therefore directed that in serving processes to the above mentioned officials, the following should be adhered to henceforth. So now it distinguishes, it gives us 3 categories of persons in Parliament.
I've seen it.
So it tells us that category 1 is Right Honourable Speaker. Category 2 is the clerk to Parliament. Category 3, members of Parliament. So clearly the Chief Justice distinguishes that if it is there's a Honourable Speaker of Parliament, that service must be effected on. Then there is the clerk of parliament.
Yes.
Then there are members of parliament.
Yes. Absolutely.
So the judiciary distinguishes the three.
Yes.
What this means is that for any service directed at the speaker, this is how.
That's not what it means. Please.
Oh.
No, that's my interpretation. It's your interpretation, with all respect. The reason why even these days...
Would you please allow me to...
You see, let me...
Otherwise... I engage Sammy when you were speaking.
He engaged me throughout.
I understand.
I deal with Sammy on all the things he said.
I've got your point. You've made it. And I'm saying I don't agree with you.
It's not about you getting me. I don't intend for you to agree with me. I don't.
I understand.
I am just saying, please put the thing back. I am just saying that this is the judicial service.
Yes.
It says that when it comes to Parliament of the Republic of Ghana, we are categorizing three. Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, which presupposes that a service can be directed at the Honorable Speaker of Parliament.
Himself, yes.
That a service can be directed at the clerk of Parliament.
Usually when it is like for Parliament.
And a service can be directed on members of Parliament.
Exactly.
So now it distinguishes the three. And it says that, one, personality stroke institution to be served is there. So if it is Right Honorable Speaker who the service is on,
how service should be
the service should be effected, acceptable times of the service, and then he has remarks. Then if it is about the clerk of parliament that the service should be effected on, how service should be effected, acceptable times of service, and then remarks there. If it's about members of parliament, accept how it should be effected, and then acceptable times for the effect.
That's all.
And you see it there. Yes. So the one clearly says that if the service is to be effected on the speaker,
can you go up?
All court processes should be served on the legal department of the parliamentary service. Acceptable times of service, Mondays during working hours. And I made a point that if you look at this circular again, what it even means is that if you look at 2 and 3, apart from Mondays, it specifies other days and says that if it is Tuesday to Friday,
7 a.m. to 8 a.m.
on 2 and 3, it specifies. What it means is that when it comes to 1, it is dealing with only Mondays, and it gives you during working hours.
And it doesn't give you any
other
explanation. And you say you have another interpretation.
No, with all due respect, how you interpret a document here, with all due respect, is not supposed to be the right one. So this is a document we are all interpreting, respectfully. The way you interpret it, I respect it. But I'm saying that, in my opinion, your interpretation is a misinterpretation. I have access to that.
All right. Okay.
And I want to put forward my interpretation. And I'm saying that because I'm privileged to have been a member of parliament, the spirit behind this letter is that MPs are free on Mondays, including the speaker. We don't work on Mondays. And it's because the fiscal process of handing over court documents, getting it received, because Mondays is when you can get that done. The spirit is that if you want to serve the speaker or an MP, it is to be done on Mondays. Now,
this document doesn't say that.
No, that's what I'm speaking about. This. There is an intention behind it. Why Monday was chosen because that's when we don't work.
No, but 2 and 3.
I'm coming to 2 and 3. Yes. The reason why when it came to the clerk, apart from Monday, other days were added, is that he is the administrator of parliament. So from even in Tuesdays up to Friday, he was not put in that exemption like us.
I don't understand.
From Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, according to the 2, you can go and serve the clerk. Is that not so?
Yes. Between 7 and 8.
Please.
Between 7
I'm sure the spirit behind is that he is administrator. He's not like us who are free on only Monday. But the rest of the weekdays, he should be available to receive.
So read 3.
No, I'll come to 3.
Yes. 3 is the same
Please,
like the clerk.
he should be available to receive documents. Yes. And as someone who has been in Ghana's parliament, I'm pointing to you that when things come to the clerk, it's not necessarily about his person. He is the face of Ghana's parliament. And even in fact, you can even serve as a member of parliament. You can bring a matter concerning a member of parliament through the clerk. He's the chief administrator of Ghana's parliament. So I am telling you that with my privilege of being in Ghana's parliament, what the Chief Justice is telling you is that Ghana's parliament is not only approached on Mondays. That's the substance. And that through the clerk. And please, there is nowhere also that says that anything you bring to the clerk, it must have nothing to do with the speaker. on the rest of the days. Please, that's my interpretation. Doc, so
even when the document provides
okay
for how a particular
Doc,
office or a person must be served.
Doc, respectfully, I'm saying that because I have worked in Ghana's Parliament, the way to understand...
You were not with the Parliamentary Service Board.
Okay, no problem. But at least I have the privilege of experiencing their work. Okay. The way to better appreciate that provision is that I'm giving you the spirit behind the Monday that was chosen. It's assumed that Monday he is not sitting. So you can physically go there, serve him any court documents.
No, they are not even asking you to serve him. They say serve legal department.
No,
which also like the clerk, work Monday to Friday.
Correct. Now, and I'm saying that when they say you can serve the clerk, and I understand why Sami and those who are antagonistic towards the courts over the past, who've developed antagonism, I can appreciate why they've conveniently, and I'm very happy I saw this, because until I came to this show, I never knew that beyond Monday there were other provisions. There is a reason why those who are attacking the courts now run away from two. I am telling you that when you serve Ghana's clerk, the clerk of Ghana's parliament, it is the route through which you approach any other department or person that has to do with parliament. And so
in this specific case, who was served?
No, please.
No, in this specific case, who was served? Was it the clerk of parliament?
Thank you. No, please, let me see. It's about workings. It's an institution approaching another institution. And let me.
No, you don't get
who was served. No, please, I'll say it.
Yes. Who was the service affected on it?
If you write to Ministry of Health on a matter concerning, let's say, my chief director, but written to my office, the first department I mean to call is the legal department. And I'm explaining to you that the clerk is the chief administrator. And so the documents, the Chief Justice, the Speaker is telling the whole world that I have an arrangement that says that they shouldn't send me anything on Monday. And the lady,
not on Monday. He didn't say they shouldn't serve me on Monday. It says they should serve me on Mondays through the legal department.
But nothing.
No. He said you can serve me through the legal department on Mondays.
Which is what the surplus
says. He says that is not what was done.
All right. And the
are
Chief
you
Justice,
aware that there was no service on the clerk of parliament?
Doc, I'm coming.
Are you aware?
Doc,
he can't answer that simple question.
I'm saying that it is not by accident that all those who are attacking the courts run away from provision 2.
How is 2 applicable?
It's not even applicable to this. It's not relevant to this discussion.
So what's the Speaker's problem?
Because this particular service,
what's the Speaker's problem?
This particular service was not effected on the clerk.
I'm saying what's the Speaker's problem? What's his contention?
His contention is that you serve me through the legal department on Mondays during working hours. And that is not what was done.
What was done?
Is that not his case?
No. What was done? I'm asking you.
What was done?
Please. Yes.
What was done?
What was done? His Speaker's argument that documents were served on another day apart from Monday. Is that not?
Yes.
And
on the legal department.
No problem. Yes. And the point I'm making is that Ghana's parliament.
Yes.
The second provision says that you can serve parliament from Monday to Friday through the clerk.
Is that what was done?
No, that is not it.
But the legal department, are they independent?
He doesn't know.
They are another clerk.
No.
Please,
all right. Okay.
Oh, you are not done.
Okay, let him finish.
So, in conclusion, the point I want to make is that anytime a case goes before a judge, if you try to hide in semantics and wording and run away from the substance, you'll be caught red-handed. All those coming at the courts are creating the impression that the legal department was served on another day apart from Monday.
That's a fact.
Yes.
That's a fact.
And I'm saying that those people have conveniently avoided another provision that says that the clerk of Ghana's parliament can be served on other days. And I'm saying that...
But was the clerk served?
I'm coming, Doc. In substance. That's why I'm talking about substance, not form. In substance, anytime you serve the clerk of Ghana's parliament on a legal matter. But why you say? That's why you have this ruling. And please, in other jurisdictions, even globally, this substance would prevail. If you serve Dr. Okoe Boye on legal matters from Ghana Supreme Court, you have by extension served the legal department of the Ministry of Health. Because I am not a lawyer.
Okay.
So that is what I want to go out there, that the Supreme Court has an arrangement with Ghana's parliament that the parliament can be served with legal documents even apart from Monday. And we should not run away from that.
All right.